For today's video, I'm doing something I've wanted to do for quite some time, and that is open up one of all these starters and boosters from 4th edition up to Urza block. And in doing so, being able to make decks out of whatever I pull and not add or buy anything off the internet to make the decks better. And I've always enjoyed, the aspect of making decks out of a limited pool. For those of you that know me from Discord, or from previous videos, I suppose. I love the idea of like singleton and building decks from limited pool, like it was back in the day. And so I'll probably do this in two parts. I'm going to do the 4th edition through Mirage in one part in one video, and then I'll do 5th through Saga, Urza's block, in the second video. So push these off to the side. And I'm going to open up the starters first, and then we'll go through all the boosters. So one idea I had of this as well is if I had a buddy or maybe up to 6 people, really, we could all take a starter deck and the packs that go with it and play against the other sets, or do 4th through Mirage versus the 5th through Urza Saga, and whoever can make their own deck out of whatever they choose, or this and that. So lots of options to do here. Pretty excited. Now, I don't really care what I pull. I'm looking more for playability. I'm not looking for value wise. Obviously, it'd be nice to pull Lion's Eyes and Phyrexian Dreadnoughts and Gaia's Cradles and that kind of stuff. But I really just want to pull fun to play stuff and stuff like that. So let's take a journey back to 1995 and breathe some of the air out of these boxes and enjoy the video. Nice crisp box. So I tell you, one thing I would love to pull out of here would be like a Triskelion or a Royal Assassin, Hypnotic Spectre, that kind of stuff. Other than that, it'll all add up and you'll be able to make a fun deck out of everything that's been pulled, I'm sure. I believe. And that smell just brings you back. I can't get enough of that. Okay, so if I remember correctly, I believe these are the 3 rares. But bear with me in the blurry video and the ramblings. I'm just a normal guy. I'm not trying to be some big YouTuber guy. So grab a beer, sit back, and relax. And one thing I like to do is thumb through all the cards, and this way I can go back and recreate the starter. Obviously, in this particular case, it's the only 4th edition that's going to be there besides the booster pack. But there's a format I like to play on Discord with friends. Nothing serious, but we buy starter decks and just play those with like a booster or two, and it's pretty fun. And so we recommend, just looking at old videos and recreating one. You don't have to spend $100 to $150 buying a starter deck. You just look at one and copy it, and you can get it done a lot cheaper. So, all right. So starting with the commons, we got a Paralyze, Tranquility. Stone Rain is pretty useful when you're playing with these starter decks. Raise Dead, Holy Strength, Battering Ram, Creature Bond, Light, Disenchant, very helpful. Vampire Bats, Apprentice Wizard, Grizzly Bears, comes out quick and he does some damage. Got the Goblin Rock Shed, or Sled, Kithkin, Pestilence, Stream of Life, Falcon, Bird Maiden, Pearled Unicorn, Merc Dwellers. We got the Dirkwood Bears, he's a good beater. Energy Tap, Marsh Gas, Dryads, Merfolk of the Pearl Trident, and a COP Red. A lot of the other 4th edition starters I opened, I had a lot of really good commons like fireballs and giant growths and stuff. All right, let's see what we've got for commons, or uncommons rather. Got a burrowing wall of stone. That Swords of Plowshare is money. All right, Death Grip, Orchestra Flame, Karma, Sweet, a Black Knight, a Stone Giant, and an Oasis. And the rares are going to be, starting off with a JM Tome, a Will-O-Wisp, sweet, and a Ragman. Alright, man. I'm a big fan of black. That's one of my colors that I kept when I sold off all my beta stuff, my beta rares. I kept just black, and it's my favorite color, so I'm happy to get some black rares in there. Alright, moving onward to Ice Age. I remember when this came out. Oh man, I was hooked on this for the longest time. In fact, when Mirage came out, I was still just hoarding Ice Age. Got into a little bit of Tempest, but man, when Urza block came out, I finally ditched the Ice Age purchases and went straight into that for a while. Oh well. Anybody out there is interested in playing starters versus starters, or a block versus a block, or whatever, let me know. Hit me a line in the comment section or something. I'll look every now and then. And if you're on Discord, Flatbeard is my username. You can always drop me a line. Okay, look at that rule book. Lots of rule books. Okay, so this should be the uncommons. Perhaps the rares. And let's get the land out. So the last Ice Age starter deck I opened up had 7 snow-covered land in there and a sunstone. I thought that was pretty neat. Flip through the land for recreation purposes. Yeah, like 5, maybe 6, 5, maybe 6 snow-covered lands in this one too. That's pretty good. All right, so it looks like we got another disenchant, a Sappers, a COB Green, Bone Shaman, Pike Knight, Dark Ritual, Snowfall, Krovikin. I always butcher a lot of names. Don't get on my case about it. I'll butcher a bunch more. Fetish. Got the Barbarians. Word of Undoing. Errantry. Woolly Mammoth. Something Ascent. Cloak of Confusion. Grizzly. What's that? Grizzled Wolverine. Yeah. Gaze of Pain. Love that card. Foxes. Not so much. Essence Filter. Balduvian Bears goes well with the Grizzly Bears. Ah, sweet. Counterspell and a Morphine back to back. Snow Devil. Another Stone Rain. Clairvoyance. Tinderwall. And Gangrenous Zombies. Not too shabby. Definitely a lot of good support cards to go with the rares that could be. Okay, going on to uncommons. Icequake's pretty good. Flame Spirit, not bad. Spirit Shield. Withering Wisp. We got the Pestilence and the Wisp. That's pretty good. Of course, I need Snow Cover Swamps for that one, but got the Archer. Soldevi Simulacrum. Dreams of the Dead. Pit Trap is really good. I'm really hoping for an Ice Manipulator, but you know, chances of that are getting pretty low. Okay, White Scarab. Goblin Lyre. Caribou Range. Oh, wait a minute. That's rares. That's weird. Huh, okay, well, we'll just keep going with it. The rares are Caribou Range and Brand of Ill Omen and the Goblin Lair. So, not the best of the best, but the 3 other cards were land. I must have mixed that up somehow. Like I said, I'm not trying to be a professional YouTuber. It's all for fun. So me and a buddy were playing Alice Singleton, and the Caribou range. Tell you what, it's not too bad. All right, Mirage. I'm pretty excited about this. Love the art on this set. All around, it's pretty good. So this one was made in Belgium, so the inside should be wrapped. The ones printed in USA don't come with this. It's just loose in the box. Moving right along. Okay, so that's the deal. I think these are the rares. Real booklet. Just in case I don't want to slaughter it, I'm going to open up these or reveal these first. But this is going to be commons and all commons here. Take a drink break, everybody. Oh, yeah. God, the art on these lands is just fantastic. My favorite swamp. One thing that's nice about the 4th edition and Mirage starters is the land is relatively equal. You know, you get a revised starter in those packs, man, or those decks that have maybe like sometimes they only have 2 of one basic and 5 of another and 7 of one. But in any case, all right, here we go. We got the Hex, Mountain Valley, Lighted Shaman, Vitalizing Crusade, the Bee Sting, Mind Bend, Shadow Guild Mage, another disenchant. I tell you what, the other half is going to be in trouble if they're casting artifacts or enchantments there. Restless Dead, Raging Spirit, Jolrael's Centaur, Dream Fighter, Seedling Charm. Drain lasts pretty good. Got the Flanking Knight there. Chaos Charm, Civic Guild Mage, Quarian Elves. These guys are really good when you're trying to mana fix when you're playing a bunch of colors. Power Sink, Cadaverous Knight, Reality Ripple. That guy's a good one. It's when they try and like giant growth and help from beyond their creature. Then you're like, okay, well now I'll get rid of it for the turn or whatever. Matilda Herder, Salamander, Disempower, Curvex Torch, Teferi's Curse, Choking Sands. I always like that card. Man, Richard Kane Ferguson did this one. This guy is an animal with his illustrations. Searing Spear, Sakari, Wall of Roots, Gravebane Zombie, Faramir Scouts, Sandstorm. Really like the theme of this block. I'm pretty sure these are just more uncommon. So Nettletooth Djinn, Marble Diamond, and Vaporous Djinn. A lot of Djinns and Dragons and Afrits in this set. Alright, the rares are going to be Lyrian Gargoyle. What's this? Venefact Bottle. And Harbinger of Night. Not too bad. Could have been worse, but like I said, really just going for playability and the fun of just making a deck. Between everything, there'll definitely be some cool stuff. Alright, so moving on to the boosters. Let's go ahead and start with 4th edition. We'll just work our way down the block. I want to say the 4th one down is the rare. These are uncommons. We'll save those for last. Okay, so starting off with Tranquility, Power Leak, Ironclaw Orcs, Creature Bond, Eternal Warrior, Fortified Area, Grizzly Bears, There's a fireball. COP Blue, Falcon, Mons Goblin Raiders. Alright, Cave People, Mishra's Factory, and Simulacrum are the uncommons. And the rare is going to be, sweet, a Ball Lightning. Guy's pretty good. I remember seeing my first Ball Lightning in the dark, and I was like, that guy's pretty good. Chronicles. Man, when this stuff came out, everybody was super stoked or super upset. The people that were upset were the guys that had legends and antiquities and stuff, because it was all reprint and they thought it was going to hurt the value. But I tell you what, I love just pulling like a Bujafars and always wanted to get like a what's his name? Nicole Bolas, yeah. So in any case, all reprints from like legends, antiquities, and that kind of stuff. Arabian Nights. So Remove Soul, Scavenging Folk, Wall of Heat, Urza's Power Plant, War Elephant. That guy's pretty sweet. Keepers of the Faith, Wall of Vapors, Active Volcano. I think this is the uncommons now. Got a Mountain Yeti, pretty good. The Fallen, I love that guy. Well, I got a Palladium Morris and a City of Brass. Is that 2 rares? I kind of want to say City of Brass was rare in that one. Those are awesome pulls, man. City of Brass is dope. And Elder Dragon, that's cool, man. Probably the best pack we opened so far. All right, Ice Age. Last chance to get a Icy Manipulator. Gesture's Cap would be cool. I really would love a Scaled Worm and an Icy Manipulator. Three uncommons, 1 rare. We got a Folk of the Pine, Calcinco Ranger, Snowfall, Mystic Remora. I think that's like a. I think I like jumped up in price. He's pretty sought after. I never really thought he was that good, but got another Wolverine, Brian Shaman, Wild Growth, Foxfire. Love that card. Death Ward. Could always use more counter spells. Power Sync right there. Barbarian Guides. And then let's see. I think that's gonna be the rare. So this is I got the Sky Captain, a Wall of Shields, and a Krovikan Vampire. It's not a nice manipulator, but I love that. What's the rare? Got the Yeti. I love Yetis. These guys are sick. These guys fight other creatures. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but they just tap and they deal their damage to another creature and vice versa. It's a good way to get rid of a lot of small stuff. You put a regeneration or something on them. All right, Alliance time. Null Rod, Lake of the Dead. Wouldn't mind a Krovikan Horror. Or like another Exile would be sweet. Okay. Should be 4th one down. Got Errand of Duty. Phyrexian Boon. Man, the art on that's pretty good. Whipvine. Soldevi Heretic. Storm Shaman. That guy's fire. Gelderin Pride. Phyrexian Warbeast. Yavimaya Ancients. That guy's pretty big. Let's see here. It's this is gonna be the rare because that's the bottom 3. So Death Spark, the Home Guard, and Plague. These guys are sweet. The rare is gonna be Misfortune. Very underestimated card. I'm pretty stoked to actually get that. Well, let's go ahead and just push this up to the top here. Homelands. A lot of people disappointed in Homelands. I thought it was cool. You can pull a Baron Singer. Was it a Koskin Falls or Koskin Falls? Abyssal Spectre. Not Abyssal Spectre. Abbey Gargoyles. A lot of cool stuff you could pull in here. Nothing really worth a lot, though. I have no idea where the rares are, or the rare, so I'm just going to start from the bottom. Let's go through it. Got a Memory Lapse, Labyrinth Minotaur, a Naba, my Bodyguard, Willow Fairy, Torture, Giant Albatross, Fairy Noble, and Dry Spell. These are, I think that's uncommon. That could be the rare, or it could just be two uncommons. Wasn't expecting much from this one. Alright, Mirage block. I wouldn't mind another Catacomb Dragon. I'll put it from the top. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be the rare. I got a Binding Agony, Soar, Ritual of Steel, Akundo Cyclops, Giant Mantis, Fire Breathing, a Thirst, Shadow Guild Mage, yet another Disenchant, and Restless Dead. I don't know if you can see the art on that guy, but that guy is sick. Okay. Oh, that's fourth card. This is going to be a Sapphire Charm. That'll be a rare. Uncommons are Locust Swarm, Blinding Light, and Basalt Golem. And the rare is, how do you pronounce this chick? It's Shaku Endbringer. Pretty interesting art with that. I think P Ventures did that one. You got to tap to destroy or remove a creature, and then you put a 1/1 counter. I don't think, I think you lose life during your upkeep. I guess I might as well read this thing. During your upkeep, you lose 3 life. Remove target creature from the game if you tap it, and put a 1/1 counter on her. And can't attack if there's another creature in play. So basically, it's just removing guys and getting bigger, and you're losing life in the process. But sometimes you can afford the life. Visions time. Better right here. All right, King Cheetah, Inspiration. What's this? Parapet. It's kind of like a little mini castle. Vision Charm. Warthog. Got a Lancer. Got a Fallen Ascari. Rock Slide. Mystic Veil. Warriors. What's that? Honor. And Vanishing. Uncommon is going to be Goblin Recruiter, Quicksand, and the Cyclops. And the rare is an Undiscovered Paradise. That's sweet, man. I'm stoked on that. Alright, last pack for this part of the video before moving on to part 2 is Weatherlight. Cool to pull a Null Rod. Okay. Shattered Crypt. Goblin Vandal. Haunting Misery. Soul Shepherd. Uktabi Afreet. Spinning Darkness. Disrupt. Choking Vines. Boiling Blood. I think this one makes a creature attack if able. Yep. Target creature attacks this turn if able. And you draw a card at the end of that. But it's pretty good. Force something to swing through. Let's see here. We got a Fog Elemental and a Benelish Missionary. There's a rare. Uncommons are going to be Phantom Warrior, Dingus Staff, like a Dingus Egg but for creatures. Circling Vultures, and the rare is a Thran Tome. overall, I'm pretty excited on some of the cards. I think this is going to make a lot of really fun decks, man. Yeah, I think there's definitely some cool black rares between the Harbinger, the Will-O-Wisp, the Ragman. Got this chick, and with the City of Brass and the Undiscovered Paradise is going to make it so you can have like a 5-color deck. I'm pretty sure it won't be too bad. But in any case, I hope you liked the video, and stay tuned for